Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. I really appreciate your guys' support. I want to read a cool letter I got in the mail. Some of you are like, hey, Graham, I don't want to do PayPal or Patreon or whatever. So I put my P.O. box is at grahamelwood.com if you go to that website, if you just, some people want to support that way. So here's a cool handwritten letter. Mr. Elwood, I have seen you a couple times with Jimmy Dore. You are very funny. I guess I should say sardonic. Anyway, I'm old and way behind the times technology-wise. I don't understand Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, etc., but I can still watch you on my phone. Of course, I watch Dore, Mike, I'm not sure who that is, and my favorite, Tom Hartman, who is a bit conservative, but a really good man like you. Thank you. One of the best and decent humans I wish I could be, but need work. Don't be hard on yourself. We're all victims of being Americans and growing up in the West. Most of us, even if you grew up in the UK or Western Europe, we're all victims of capitalism and empires and imperialism. So go easy on yourself. So here's some money to do with as you see fit. Love you, Charlie. Charlie, that is the coolest thing. And then he had money enclosed in there. And I've get a couple of these letters a month and they're really cool and they keep me going. And it's because several of you said, hey, I don't want to give money online, and I appreciate it. So it's a way to support the show. And, you know, some of you want to stay anonymous, and that's cool. And write to the P.O. box and donate whatever you can, and I appreciate it. And you guys are really cool, and you inspire me. And I love that it's all different age groups and all different people of all backgrounds and all over the country and the world. And it's really cool. It just shows you that progressives and people that want to make the world a better place are not what the corporate media presents. So here is a article. It came out last year in the Washington Post. Police arrest more people for marijuana use than for all violent crimes combined. It came out October 12, 2016. It was written by Christopher Ingram. But it's relevant today, and I found this article because there's some pertinent statistics in it. And I want to talk about it because Jeff Sessions is now saying, because the state of California passed recreational marijuana is now legal, and he's saying it's not. And I'm sure some of it is, oh, he's out of touch and thinks the jazz cigarettes make people crazy. But I'm sure more of it is that the pharmaceutical industry paid him to go after marijuana. But here's some statistics that I want to talk about. That are very relevant to why, as Tulsi Gabbard says, and she was talking about this a lot this past week on Twitter, we need to decriminalize marijuana on a federal level. There's really good financial reasons to do it here too. We are incarcerating, as this article is going to go into, and of course it's in the show notes below, the amount of money we are spending incarcerating like minimal drug offenses is ridiculous. It's costing us a lot of money. And of course, if conservatives are all about save money, well then let's do it. Let's save money. Let's not add $1.5 trillion to the budget, to the deficit, because you just gave all your rich buddies a tax break. There's another quick little money-saving tip. On any given day in the United States, at least 137,000 people sit behind bars on simple drug possession charges, according to a report released Wednesday by the American Civil Liberties Union and Human Rights Watch. Nearly 2/3 of them are in local jails. The report says that most of these jailed inmates have not been convicted of any crime. It's not like they were violent offenders. This number here, these 137,000 people, they're not violent offenders. It's not like you go out and you're high on drugs, or you kill somebody, or you commit a violent crime to get drugs. That's different. You're charged not just with drug possession, but with those felonies. These are just minor drug possessions. The report says that most of these have not been convicted of any crime. They're sitting in a cell awaiting a day in court, an appearance that may be months or even years off because they can't afford to post bail. That's right. A black youth, black teenager, 3 times more likely to go to jail than a white kid. 3 times. White kid gets busted with a small amount of drugs, a little slap on the wrist, come on. They're off the hook. It's been 45 years since the war on drugs was declared, and it hasn't been a success, lead author Tess Borden of Human Rights Watch said in an interview. Rates of drug use are not down. Drug dependency is not stopped. Every 25 seconds, we're arresting someone for drug use. I've talked about this before. The drug addiction is a serious problem. We talked about it when I had Redneck Economics on the show. She talked about the opioid epidemic in her home state of West Virginia. It's an epidemic all over the place. I'm seeing cocaine infiltrate the comedy scene here in Los Angeles. I'm seeing comedy clubs. I've seen it affect people that I'm close to. You know, someone I was dating started hanging out with people that she told me were doing cocaine. Her behavior got violent and abusive and was really scary. But that is a health issue. Drug addiction is a health issue. It's not a criminal issue. It's like if insulin was illegal and we had all these diabetics and we locked them up for trying to get their insulin fix. It's a health issue. Federal figures on drug arrests and drug use over the past 3 decades tell the story. Drug possession arrests skyrocketed from fewer than 200 arrests for every 100,000 people in 1979 to more than 500 in the mid-2000s. The drug possession rate has fallen slightly, according to the FBI, hovering near 400 arrests per 100,000 people. And all right, so people that, what are we supposed to do? Just let kids do drugs in the street and go crazy? We gotta lock them up. It's not working. It's not deterring. Illicit drug use today is more common among Americans aged 12 and older than it was in the early 1980s. Federal figures show no correlation between drug possession arrests and rates of drug use during that time. And there's this crazy chart that just shows the crazy, and it's insane. And it's literally called the meandering course of the drug year from 1979 to 2015. Around the country, police make more arrests for drug possession than for any other crime, the report finds, and they're citing FBI data. More than 1 of every 9 arrests by state law enforcement is for drug possession, amounting to more than 1.25 million arrests each year. In fact, police make more arrests for marijuana possession alone than for all violent crimes combined. Now, I've talked about this. Some statistics came out of Colorado that decriminalized recreational marijuana a couple years ago. Teen alcohol and drug use, like hard drug, cocaine, stuff like that, has dropped since the legalization of marijuana in the state of Colorado. The report finds that the laws are enforced unequally too. Over their lifetimes, black and white Americans use illicit drugs at similar rates, according to the federal data, but black adults were more than 2.5 times as likely to be arrested for drug possession. I said three times. Sorry, I'm corrected. 2.5. The report calls for decriminalizing the personal use and possession of drugs, treating it as a public health matter instead of a criminal one. I'm not alone in that thought. Rather than promoting health, criminalization can create new barriers to health for those who use drugs. Criminalization drives drug use underground. It discourages access to emergency medicine, overdose prevention services, and risk-reducing practices such as syringe exchanges. I know some people that have such severe pain they have to take serious drugs. If those drugs were outlawed, they'd go get them on the street. Corey Ladd, who was arrested for possessing half an ounce of marijuana during a 2011 traffic stop in New Orleans, because he had convictions for 2 prior offenses involving the possession of small amounts of hydrocodone and LSD, he was sentenced in 2013 to 17 years in prison as a habitual offender. Wow. And if he just got legally prescribed Oxycontin and stuff like that, Vicodin, wouldn't have been arrested maybe? Corey's about the real waste of human lives, let alone taxpayer money, of arrest and incarceration for personal drug use. He could be making money and providing for his family, but no, he's locked up for 17 years. In Texas, for instance, 116 people are currently serving life sentences of charges of simple drug possession. 7 of those people earned their sentences for possessing quantities of drugs weighing between 1 gram and 4 grams. This is part of the 3 strikes you're out rule, right? That's because Texas also has a habitual offender law allowing prosecutors to seek longer than normal sentences for people who have 2 prior felonies. In 2015, more than 78% of people sentenced to incarceration for felony drug possession in Texas possessed under a gram. Maybe we should go after the CIA, who started selling crack in Los Angeles to fund the the Contra war. Maybe the CIA should be behind jail. Be behind bars in jail, prison. So that's typically what we do. The people at the top are making all the money. They have all the power, and then we punish everybody else. We punish the poor in this country. And this is another way we do it. And we need to eliminate 3 strikes, you're out. We need to decriminalize even the serious drugs. People are, oh my God, you just criminalize, there'll be, you know, the drugs are already happening. People are already doing heroin and Oxycontin and cocaine and making crystal meth. It's already happening. Communities are being decimated. It's already happening. So if we treat it like a health issue, then we can actually get people off of these drugs. And then maybe if we had jobs, if we didn't ship them all off for the bullshit pie-in-the-sky globalization that really just benefits the 1%, then they wouldn't have to go have drugs everywhere. If there was good education, free college tuition, if we addressed mental illness, we wouldn't have people self-medicating, would we? All right, America, you got a lot of things you can fix. I'd like to see you do it. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks for supporting it. And I will keep making Gotham great again. And you guys keep being awesome.